So it's 10:01. We're going to get started. Just a few housekeeping items. For bathrooms, it's through the hall. It's down this hall to the left, restrooms facilities. That's pretty much it. When it comes to how this is going to be conducted, we're going to go through a short presentation explaining the background of the fair restoration, and we're going to talk a little bit about why it's happening, and then we'll answer questions that we've received previously, and then we'll open up for questions that you guys may have. Those of you online, you can raise your hand if you would like to speak, or you can type your question into the chat, and we'll go from there. So with that being said, welcome. My name is Daryl Leitner. I'm the Manager of Communications and Strategic Initiatives, and I'm pretty much going to be conducting the majority of the presentation. With me, I have Gail Vivar. She's our Marketing Outreach Coordinator, and we have AJ Jordan. He's our Manager of Planning and Scheduling. And yeah, so that's us. First, let me give some context as far as the background and why we decreased the deep discount. So in February 2020, the Atlanta Board of Directors enacted an emergency relief policy for the COVID-19 31-day pass. The passes were set at $5 if you purchase online and $5 through the Token Transit app. They were $10 if you purchased them in person. That would be at the transit centers or on the bus. The whole purpose of all this was to combat the coronavirus in general by decreasing, based off of ridership, like a lot of transportation authorities, they enacted free fares. Everybody did something different that affected their area. Based off of that, we decided to decrease the fare to assist the public in still being able to get around. Also, ridership was down to 25%. And we did receive like additional funding in order to keep the buses running throughout the COVID-19. We didn't really cut a lot of service, but we did cut the cost of the 31-day pass just to assist the public to be able to get around and, just live life. That being said, this was always meant to be a temporary solution. This was never meant to be a permanent thing. That's why, and if you'll see on some of our bus schedules, we still have the $60 31-day pass. We never changed that. Same with the Token Transit app. In order to purchase, you had to go to a specific emergency pass because this was only an emergency fare, and the federal government has deemed that the emergency is over. So originally the plan was to enact at half fare once ridership reached pre-COVID levels. That would be at 70%, we would go to $30, and at 90%, we would go to $60, which would be full fare. That was the plan when we initially enacted it back in February of 2020. Currently, ridership is right around 90% pre-COVID numbers. However, our passenger revenue is still down 70%. I say this because there are guidelines that we need to follow that as far as the amount of revenue that we receive from the fare box, as far as passenger revenue, as it relates to ridership. Ridership is up, but our passenger revenue still has not gone up. While we were happy to keep this cost very affordable for our service area, the funding for that has now ended, and we must restore it back to what it was previously. As far as like the restoration plan, October 1st, we're gonna go back to $30. We took a more staggered approach to go back to the $60 day fare, and we did that just so people can the public can kind of get used to as far as like, we didn't want to drop it on everyone at once. So we kind of wanted to take a slower approach just to make it a little more affordable for those that use it often. With the forget what I was going to say. But the 31-day pass will be $60 in January and $30 in October. This goes for, we received a lot of comments for a disability and reduced fare. The 31-day pass as of October 1st will be $30 for everyone. The disability reduced fare will only apply to the day pass for the $1 a day pass. So all fares as far as the 31-day pass will be $30 as of October 1st and $60 as of January 1st. Let me make that clear. Now what I'm going to do is kind of cover some questions that we received. But before I get into that, I just want to say that we try our hardest to sustain and manage an operable system that it has to be sustainable. And at the current state, it's not sustainable at the current fare that it is currently. And while we have received a lot of comments regarding that people, as far as the impact that it's going to have, we recognize the impact that it will have, but we also have an obligation to be as sustainable as we possibly can. It's right in our mission statement to provide the highest quality transportation through efficient use through all available resources. It just so happens those resources are no longer available. So everything has to go back to the way they were back in 2020. So I'm going to cover, it's only a few questions that we received online via survey comments and through the survey that we had via social media on our website, and you could take it in person as well. Will this affect the 31-day disability pass? Yes, this will affect the 31-day disability pass. As I said, as of October 1st, this will be, as of October 1st, all 31-day passes will be $30. As of January 1st of 2024, all 31-day passes will be $60. As soon as I finish these, then we'll go up. Will the price change in token transit? Yes, the price will change in token transit. It's not going to be reflected until October 1st and January 1st. Again, all 31-day passes will be $30 as of October 1st and $60 as of January 1st. Why not hold this meeting in the evening to allow more accessibility? So we've held meetings in the evening previously. This was just based off of experience that we've had. We've held multiple meetings in the evenings, and typically the turnout is around the same. But in order to combat that, that's why we have it accessible online, and we take in comments preemptively. So you can view this video whenever you want in order to get the questions. So if you're not able to attend in person, if you had work or you're just busy, you could either call and submit your comments as far as ask your question, why is it happening? Whatever your question or comment, that would be documented, that would be reported to us, and then we would address it here at the public meeting. And if you left an email address, we would contact you regarding that. That way it's more accessible for everyone. It's always available, and you can fill it out at your leisure and get contacted at your leisure. So as far as why this is happening, as I said in the presentation, it's happening just simply because the COVID emergency, the federal government has determined that the COVID emergency is over. Therefore, everything has to go back to what they were. This was always the plan. This was never meant to be permanent. It's been over 3 years, and it was supposed to be 3 to 6 months. As far as, let's see. In general, a lot of people may feel that they can't afford the $60 fare. A lot of people don't have $60 right off the gate. We have other fare structures in order to do that between the single ride fare, transfers, and the day pass and the 10 ride pass. Between all of those, you have to figure out what meets your needs the best. As far as in 2020, these prices were the same back in 2020 for years. And we're just, again, this is not a fair increase. We're just restoring it back to what it always was before. That's all the questions
I have a question now.
Okay.
Okay. There are a lot of seniors, and I remember they used to have a discount for the seniors
Mm-hmm.
that are not handicapped. Do they still have it?
Seniors ride free. If you're over 65 and over, you ride free. This doesn't affect seniors at all.
Okay, and then, all right, and then what about, well, I know that they have the mini buses for people that have to go to work. Is it gonna affect that as well, the $4.50 each way ride for them?
No, that's Lanta Van. Lanta Van and Lanta Bus, they're two separate divisions, so the fare structures are different.
Lanta handicap van is separate than the Lanta van. Is a van that will take people to the job for $4.50 that are not handicapped, that don't drive. You guys don't cover that.
I'm
I think it's Flex or, I'm not
I
sure
think
which.
it's Flex.
Okay, if you're referencing Flex, then yes, that's.
if you're referencing, I'm not sure where you get the 450 is what I'm confused
I
about.
thought they went each way, that if they have to get to a job,
But that's Lanta Van. What you're talking about is Lanta Van.
not the handicap van, the regular van, the
I don't-
regular minivan, the Lanta, not the handicap. One van.
There's only one van. We have Lanta Van. We operate three different divisions: Lanta Bus, Lanta Flex, and Lanta Van. Lanta Van and Lanta Flex are operated by Lanta Vans. Those are the same vans.
And some people access Lanta Van through ADA fares, through sources, or with other fares, Medicaid, Medicare, senior passes, and other health requirements.
Right.
But those fares are completely different. from
Okay,
Lanta
then
Flex
this,
and
because this is a big.
You come
bus.
over here. Can't hear you.
Got it.
I'm interested, I work for New Bethany. It's a shelter for the underserved. When sometimes people donate tickets, right? What I'm concerned about is a couple times I went over to the station here on North Street, is it? Yep.
Yeah, Broad and Getter.
I brought and got it. Yeah.
And I asked the fella, can I get some of the day passes or whatever? He said, oh, no, we don't handle them anymore. I said, well, how can I get a hold of them? Because what I like to do is I like to buy a package in bulk, say maybe 20 tickets or whatever. He said, no, all you can do is either get the 16 or the 30th day or 31 day pass. And I know it gets a little costly, but if there's some way, if you could address that, if you buy so many, maybe we could get a little discount on.
We do still have day passes, and we will still have day passes. We do also have bulk orders available, but those are handled by our finance department. So if you walk into any of the transit centers and speak to any of our rider resource agents there, they won't really have an answer for you. But if you call and ask for a finance resource, or say you'd like to do some bulk passes, they can put you in touch with our finance department, where they have their own opportunities to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that won't change. That is currently available and won't change as part of this proposal.
All right, but like I said, if I buy 40 tickets, and those were, what was it, they passed like $2?
$4.
Day pass.
Yeah, it gets, for myself, I don't mind doing it, it's a charity, But on the other hand, these people need the transportation. And, if I could get 50 or 60 tickets, and then I'll talk to finance, see if they could work out a deal, submit our tax
Delay. So about the 31-day pass, the prices are going up, from what I saw.
Mm-hmm. They're, did
Go
you,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, we're restoring it back to the previous fare. So as of October 1st, it'll be $30, and as of January 1st, it'll be 60.
So January 1st, go back to normal.
Yes.
Now, may I as a business owner and consultant and teacher,
Mhm.
may I make a suggestion that would probably help the company?
Right.
You have the token app to where you can buy the pass right on your phone.
Yeah.
Now that's a great opportunity to maybe take $10 off because you're not paying an employee to, do all the work. You're not paying for the card, and so forth, because we, the customers, are going to be buying that right on our phones. So that means nothing is being done on your end, which is less labor cost, and plus it would be an awesome way, to get people more towards the app than it would be to go to the customer service desk. I mean, that's what I would do.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sure. I mean, I completely agree with that statement. I just want to clarify one thing, that we're not a business. We're actually a government entity funded by state, federal, and county resources and individual fairs. And as a result of that, we have a responsibility to treat everyone equitably. So some certain things that I would agree a business decision a business would make that decision. We have some, equity guidance that we need to follow and make sure that we're not charging more for cash fares than other fares. I completely agree that not handling cash fares would be beneficial to a lot of us. It would speed up our buses. It would save a lot of labor internally, but we need to find a solution that makes sure that unbanked riders who are paying with cash or some other resource aren't negatively impacted by offering a discounted fare to mobile only. So to your comment, I completely agree. And we are actually having conversations on opportunities to make that more seamless for mobile riders. But we can't make that decision at this point.
Well, and just to be fair here, when you did have the 31-day pass for $5 on the app, when you buy the card from the customer service, it was
It's 10.
$10.
Yeah.
So I can clearly see it's not impossible
Well, and
for this to happen.
that's actually a perfect example that was allowed to us because of the COVID-19 emergency. Because of the COVID-19 emergency, where touching things was an issue, the federal government allowed us to offer that. And now that the emergency is officially over, that's why we're going through this process right now.
So is Lanta like all federal government controlled, or?
We're a regional transportation authority enabled by the state, funded by the counties, and by state and federal resources.
So who would I get to talk to about making things happen then?
The disparate fares that came down from the U.S. Federal Department of Transportation.
U.S. Department of Transportation, got it.
Yeah, that's an equity issue. The issue there is charging unbanked riders a different fare from banked riders. That's what's way above all of us in this room.
Well,
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I can't just, talk to them. I mean, after all, if it's government owned and all that, then obviously I got the right to express my government concerns under the First Amendment. So the COVID-19 emergency outstanding passes will be deactivated after emergency. So I'm assuming those are the passes that we buy that are not being used. that would be deactivated? Like if I buy 5 passes and I'm using one of them, I'm assuming that the other 4 would be deactivated, so I can't use them at $5 a piece.
Well, you wouldn't be able to buy 5.
I mean,
you-
I so can. I actually bought 3 of them. Like,
Yeah, but you didn't buy 5.
okay, what's the limit?
Well, so
The limit. What?
well, so there's official policy, and there might be ways to skirt around it. So I'm curious. Sorry.
No, well, the official limit is supposed to be 2 at the window. Online, it's supposed to be, it was 5, but I think we decreased it. I'm not 100% on it, what the number is like online. But yeah, just to avoid that, because what happens is people buy them and then they just sell them. And they load up on them and, you know.
Well, this
That's
is
the
well,
game,
this
so.
here is on the app, so it
The
says
transit app, yeah.
it would be.
Totally.
It says deactivated after emergency. So does that mean that the one I'm using will be good until I'm finished with it, and whatever extras I have will be deactivated, or does that mean all of them going to be deactivated? What does that mean?
All of them aren't going to be deactivated unless we manually go and deactivate it. If something with your account showed up fraudulent, it would deactivate all of it. But you get an alert to let you know, like all of your passes are deactivated. As far as specifically what you're talking about, I'm not sure. You can buy multiple passes on one account, and that's typically to, like, if you have like kids or you're traveling with someone, you'll just pay. Some people typically it's kids, and you pay for passes that way. You can just swipe into the other pass. But as far as having multiple active passes, is that what you mean?
No.
I think
what it says
purchasing
here-
a bunch and saving
Like,
them
can
in the
I
coming
come up
months.
and-
Later.
Can I come up and show you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So this is so when I get, so that's what that says.
You deactivated after the COVID emergency. Yeah. So that's just a disclaimer. Just letting you know that it's pretty much telling you that this is like a temporary emergency pass. That's just a disclaimer for when you first purchase the passes.
So any extra passes that I buy let's say I buy the max amount in September, right before the October $30. None of them will be deactivated.
No, we can't say that.
Yeah.
That message has actually been up there since March of 2020.
Yeah.
To let everybody know that these are temporary passes. We definitely discourage anybody going out and buying bulk passes over the next few months, because if there are any signs of fraudulent activity there, which I would consider that fraudulent activity, we do reserve the right to cancel any passes. So if you do purchase multiple passes and are using them consecutively over the coming months, that's fine. That's why we're pushing this over a multi-month period, because we recognize the need for people to get back to the full 60-day pass. But if you're purchasing 5 of them every day and then selling passes through screenshots or mobile tickets, then we have to deactivate passes other ways. So we can't guarantee that your passes won't be deactivated, but we're not.
Well, you obviously can't sell what's on here because you would have to have the actual app. You need to have the Bluetooth to be able to attempt to use those hard to use machines, to tap in, the scanning on the buses, which I heard are going to be changing soon, so it won't be so hard. And so you can't really, so a screenshot is definitely not an option to be used at all.
Absolutely, we would discourage that.
Yeah, because so basically, like, you see how that's moving?
Yeah, it's moving. Yeah.
On the screenshot, that wouldn't be moving.
Yeah,
and
that's the
bus-
purpose of them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
And it has the date and everything, but
Exactly.
it's just to deter fraudulent activity.
Are they
That's,
buying passes back that people have that are not gonna be good anymore?
are we buying passes back?
Yeah, because it's changed, you probably have a different color, and the people that have these passes that they're not using, can they send them in and get the money back that they paid for them?
No, we're not
No.
planning a pass buyback program.
No, the passes aren't changing. They'll still be the same looking pass. And as far if you get like a physical ticket, that pass will be active and especially if you bought it on a bus, it's only going to be valid for 31 days anyway.
Oh, I thought you did color coding, different colors for different months.
That's no.
Yeah, because it says so that's just fraudulent use. That was the message on there then, is what you're saying. Like if someone was to steal my phone and then buy it and sell them and
I mean, we would have no way of knowing if someone stole your phone. It's just strictly from an account-based system. If we see you're buying multiple 31-day passes, and in bulk order, that would be considered fraudulent, and they would be deactivated.
oh, gotcha. So if I buy 3 of them for like October, November, and December, they won't, and that's it.
Well, after
Okay.
in October, they'll be back to $30 again. So if you wanted to, you mean like if you bought them now?
No, let's say September comes
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to save money from buying for $30 in October. So
You
in
could
November, December
could-
for the rest of the year,
you could spend that money.
and
And
it's only $15.
yeah, if you bought 3 passes if you tried to buy them in bulk and we caught it as far as for fraudulent activity, yeah, all 3 of them would be deactivated and you wouldn't get your money back.
And I wouldn't get my
You
money.
wouldn't get your money back because
may I ask
that's
why
considered
would
fraud.
that?
Huh?
If they lose the
It-
pass, you deactivate it anyway.
So may I ask why you wouldn't give me my money back?
Because it's considered fraud. You fraudulently bought passes to cheat the system, and we preemptively told you that you're not supposed to buy them in bulk, and you did it anyway, and therefore they're going to be deactivated.
Violated the policy.
And so our official policy is you can purchase 2 passes for this month and the next month. And we do that so that you don't have that day where one pass is expiring and oh no, I have no way to get to that second pass. So our official policy is 2 passes. We allow you to purchase 2 passes at a time. We're doing this step up process because we know that some people don't have that money right away. So if you purchase a couple passes over the next couple months and your $5 pass extends into December, we're not considering that fraud. We won't deactivate that pass. But if you're every day purchasing 2 passes over the course of a week and suddenly you have 14 active passes, that does trigger an alert that we'd have to investigate.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that.
So-
I would just buy. In my case, I would buy just for myself for like October, November, and December, and then just be like, okay, January 1st comes, I'll buy it for $60, or maybe I'll buy, save $120 by getting a year pass.
Yeah. Well, and we understand everyone is trying to figure out the best way to navigate this fare change, and figuring out the best way to purchase your passes is important. So we don't want to, put out there that, attempting to save money is automatically considered fraud by Lanta. No, we want you to encourage you the best step there, but the official policy is purchasing 2 passes at a time for the current and following months. Yeah, we encourage you to take that what you will, and
Mm-hmm.
I would not advise purchasing more than that.
Gotcha.
Can you do that at the office? Can you get 2 passes a month? Because usually at the office, you only have to get 1 passes for a person.
I know at our it's 2 passes per. It's whoever's there plus 1 pass is allowed. So like if you have a family of 4 and all 4 of you are there.
If I'm getting one for me and my sister Janet,
Mhm.
Can I do that now? Before it was just one passport person, they stopped doing it that way.
I think it's, are you sure? I thought it was one per person. Is it one plus one?
I thought it was total people plus one. Do we have?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
I think it's one per person, yeah.
One per person. Okay.
that's why I was confused when you said two. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. So, okay. Definitely shows on my answer. Thank you.
And you're gonna put that in the paper so people know, the public?
It was already in the paper.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Too much corruption, low control.
Sure. I'm not controlled.
Gail. Gail, do we have any online questions at all? Nothing on Facebook or anything? Okay. No. Okay. Well, we'll be here till 12, so we'll mute all the mics until we get any other questions that we can answer.